In this tutorial, we're going to talk about weak edges, bad lead room, and having balance in a composition. So starting with this first one, look at the image of these pelicans flying over the ocean. There is obviously something weak at the top, and actually it's a weak edge because the wings of the pelicans are almost touching the top of the image. Instead, it would have been nicer if there were some sky, some blue, light blue over at the top. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're basically going to work with canvas size, and remember that when we add canvas size, it adds the color that's in the background. So let's click on this red and change it to blue, and I will select this light blue from the canvas, okay, and hit OK. All right, and then go to image, canvas size, and remember that when you want to add canvas at the top, you need to click on the lower anchor. Okay, and now change the height, let's say to from 1254 to, I don't know, 1400 or so, and then hit OK. Okay, wonderful. I have the blue applied. I have more space over the wings. Now, obviously, there is a difference in the color in the blue that I chose and the blue that's here. That's because I happened to be over a particular pixel that was a bit more purplish, if that's visible for you on the screen. So I can change that, obviously. Again, select the eyedropper tool, click on this part, which is less purple. Take a soft brush, and basically, you can color over that layer, or the best practice is always to create a new layer and then let that line disappear. Be careful not to cover the wings. Okay, there. So that's it. We fixed it in 2 seconds. So always make sure to have, let your elements breathe. It's good to have space around your elements and not having them touch the edge, because then it looks like a mistake. This is a great example of bad lead room. Now, what lead room is, it's also known as nose room, and it's basically the space in front of or in the direction of a moving or a stationary object. So in this case, as you can see, the beak of this seagull is very close to the edge from the left side. So the space in front of it is very tight. We need to add more space so that it looks nicer, and we'll end up having a better composition, a better photograph. So obviously we need to add some canvas size from the left side. To do that, we can go to image, canvas size, obviously click on the right anchor to add canvas from the left side. Okay, so click on the right anchor and change the width to, obviously this is a very big image, 2776. Let's change it to 3100 or so, and then hit OK. All right, so this is much better, but obviously we need to continue, the sea, and then the bushes and the rock and so forth. So let's go ahead and use the clone stamp tool. Hover over this lower left corner, hit the Alt key. So I'm holding down the Alt key, and then click, and then create a new layer. And on the new layer, start applying what we copied with the clone stamp tool. Okay, beautiful. Nobody knows that this is, a cheated version of the original image. Okay, now here I should stop, because if I continue, I will start drawing my seagull again, which I don't want, and I already have a problem because I slightly drew some white. So I'm going to release my finger now, and I need to fix this section. I also need to add some C. So to do that, let me go ahead and click on the background layer, and maybe copy some of this part because there's no interruption here. So let me hold down the Alt key. I'm still on the clone stamp tool, obviously. Hold down the Alt key, click once, and then if you want, create a new layer so that we make a distinction between the sea and the stones here. So on the new layer, let's start applying. Okay, careful here. Oops, again, another mistake. Now, when I'm coming closer to my seagull, I can use the left bracket to use a smaller brush. Otherwise, if I have a big brush, it will cover the beak of my seagull, which I don't want. So I'm using a small brush. Okay, beautiful. So this line is set. I just have a problem right here. And the way I'll fix it is, again, go to my background layer, use a bigger brush, hold down the Alt key. Now I'll use a slightly smaller brush and then cover my mistake. Oh, so you see I made a mistake. I copied from the background layer and started coloring on the background layer, which is wrong. I should go back to my layer 2 and then apply that change. So what a beautiful change, you know. Who will notice ever that this is a fixed image? So, you know, you can obviously do such things with Photoshop, tricks and magic that are fabulous. Let's look at this third example, which is an example of balance. And with balance, we basically want to aim not to have one part way more than another. So this is a great example because the silhouette of the man on the bicycle with the pole balance out the bench on the right side. So if we remove, let's say, the silhouette of the man and the pole, the image will feel a bit as if there's more weight on the right side. So it's great to balance things out. Obviously, this is an image of high contrast since we have pure blacks and then you know, a sky and clouds. So the silhouette and the pole are very nicely balancing out the bench on the right side. So keep balance in mind. It's always good to have a balanced composition with good lead room. If we have, you know, subjects that need space in front of them, with good edges and not weak edges, and applying the rule of thirds, obviously, which we covered in the previous tutorial, will give us a very strong and interesting composition.